Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today, because we're looking at something that is not just visually super entertaining, but it's actually packed with some incredibly deep scientific principles. Today, we're witnessing the ultimate showdown. On one side, we have a humble, ordinary stickman, and on the other side, we've got the omnipotent animator. Basically, a master of reality who has decided to just completely manipulate the fundamental laws of physics. So, let's break down this amazing animation step by step and see exactly how our two-dimensional hero survives a literal shift in their universe. Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine the stickman's baseline reality. It's just a simple, flat, horizontal floor line. Our stick figure is attempting a totally normal climb, expecting the standard, everyday downward pull of gravity that you and I experience every single day. But then, out of nowhere, boom! The animator instantly disrupts the whole thing with a sudden 45-degree tilt of the entire environment. In literally a fraction of a second, the floor becomes this steep, slippery slope, and the very concept of down is completely redefined. So that brings us to section 1, the animator's gravity trap. Framing the animator as this chaotic, unpredictable antagonist who's just testing the very fabric of physics, let's look at the rapid-fire sequence of events that kicks off this trap. First, as we just established, the world tilts 45 degrees. Instantly, step 2, our stick figure completely loses their footing and begins to violently slide down that newly angled line. Step 3 is just sheer survival instinct. The stickman desperately reaches out, grabs the edge of the line to stop from falling off into the digital abyss. And, just when you think they've stabilized, step 4 hits. The animator mercilessly flips the entire world completely upside down. Now, what's really interesting about this whole situation is why exactly the stick figure slides the instant the environment shifts. Well, it's pure inertia. The stickman's body wants to remain stationary exactly where it was, but the environment underneath violently shifts. The friction that was holding the stickman in place is completely overcome by the sudden change in angle. Basically, inertia practically yanks the ground right out from underneath them. Moving right along to section 2, surviving extreme G-force. Because the world has flipped 180 degrees, gravity's orientation has completely inverted. The stick figure lets go and falls entirely into what used to be the sky, smashing right into the absolute top of the web browser window. I mean, imagine you're sitting in a roller coaster car, right? And suddenly it drops into a steep, sharp dive. You feel your stomach jump right up into your throat, and you get violently pushed back against your seat. That totally chaotic feeling of sudden acceleration and impact, that is exactly what our two-dimensional friend is enduring right here against the top toolbar. As the stickman slams into that ceiling, they experience a massive spike in G-force. They go from free-fall acceleration to an absolute instant stop. That abrupt deceleration creates an intense physical perception of weight. It's literally the sheer force of the boundary pushing back against the mass of the stickman. Which leads us to the turning point. Section 3, navigating zero gravity. The animator suddenly decides to drop in this bizarre inventory of tools and threads. There's a gravity gun, which is ingeniously drawn as just a simple line with a glowing dot at the end. Right next to it, there's a massive, extremely dense-looking heavy block. Then, the ultimate obstacle, a black hole, represented as an ominous solid black circle. And finally, a pair of anti-gravity boots. Essentially, our stickman's reality just became a high-stakes escape room. Our hero immediately grabs the gravity gun and fires it directly at the heavy block. Instantly, the heavy block just begins to float. This specific tool is a real game changer because it allows the stickman to finally stop being a victim of the animator's whims and actually start altering the physical rules of their environment. By shooting the block, the stickman completely nullifies the gravitational pull acting upon its mass. And this brilliantly illustrates the concept of zero gravity, especially when the stickman turns the gun around and shoots themselves. Floating alongside the block, they've achieved zero gravity, or microgravity. They've effectively canceled out the animator's downward or upward pull, reaching a perfect state of weightless equilibrium. They're just untethered, floating totally freely across the digital canvas. But of course, the piece doesn't last. Section 4, escaping the black hole. The stickman is floating helplessly, drifting right toward that solid black circle. The event horizon is fast approaching. So, how in the world do you fight the ultimate pull of a black hole? In the real universe, nothing. Absolutely not even light escapes a black hole once it crosses that threshold, simply because the gravity is incredibly dense and immensely powerful. The Stickman is seemingly totally out of options, just being dragged inexorably into the darkness. But hey, remember the inventory? Here comes the climactic counterattack. Pushed up against the immense, crushing pull of the black hole, the Stickman desperately draws the anti-gravity boots. It's a massive battle of opposing forces. The overwhelming, relentless gravitational attraction of the void versus the localized, repelling force of the anti-gravity boots, pushing back against that incredibly dense mass. The sequence is an absolute nail-biter. Step 1, the stick figure visibly struggles, boots glowing bright, fighting with everything they have against the pull of the singularity. Step 2, the boots actually win. The conflicting physics are just too much for the simulation to handle, and the black hole violently collapses in on itself. Step 3, reality rapidly resets, shaking as everything normalizes. And step 4, our brave stick figure drops down onto a perfectly normal flat floor line, slumping over, completely exhausted. Honestly, after surviving severe G-forces, absolute zero gravity, and a literal black hole, this little guy definitely deserves a very long digital nap and, I don't know, maybe a really strong cup of coffee. Okay, let's calm things down a bit and get to the core of all this in section 5, gravity as constant acceleration. So, the crucial point is this. What the animator was really manipulating wasn't just the act of falling. Gravity is fundamentally a constant acceleration. Whether the world is tilted 45 degrees, flipped entirely upside down, or temporarily canceled out by a sci-fi gravity gun, gravity isn't just some magnet pulling you down. It is a continuous, constant rate of acceleration acting upon mass in a given space. When the animators spun the environment, they were really just changing the vector of that constant acceleration, forcing the poor Stickman's inertia to desperately play catch-up. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Just take a second and look around the room you're sitting in right now. If your own reality suddenly tilted 45 degrees, exactly like the animator did to our Stickman, how well would your inertia really protect you? It definitely makes you appreciate the invisible, constant acceleration that keeps our feet planted firmly on the ground every single day, doesn't it? Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through Stickman physics, and I